Hello, YouTube. Everybody out there on YouTube Space. YouTube Space, yes. Um, what I want to talk about today, well, a variety of different topics. Um, I'm actually thinking about writing a article about Star Trek and how, one of the things in Star Trek is their society. They don't need money. So how can a society like that, how could it evolve to that where you don't need money, not even bartering? I know in society now, because of the economy, some people have been without a job for a long time. So they're bartering their skills to get the uh, the food and what they need. Now, those are some of the things that happen um, when not enough people can have money to get what they need. You know, I mean, you're gonna have the super rich people with a whole lot of money, and you know what would they really be able to buy with it? Where the majority of people can't really use what they've collected, so what they've collected actually becomes worthless because everybody doesn't have it, or everybody doesn't have it in a amount, and that's what happens when you have a collection of something, whether it be money, cards, or what have you, Star Wars figures, you know. If somebody sees value in that, then it has value. But if they don't see value in it, then what you collected doesn't have value. It's junk. And money can be heading in that direction where it's just junk. It's just a collection. Um, because they wouldn't be able to buy anything with it. Because people would stop using money because you know they don't have any means of getting it. And maybe that's how it starts, having a society that's evolved past the need of money. Now, if we wanted to work towards that, if we wanted to work towards that, we could, um, by focusing on the community. If we focused more on the community, because see, one of the problems out there right now in a community, there are lots of part-time jobs, so businesses don't have to pay a whole lot of money, and so they don't have to pay benefits. So, and everything in the society and the economy keeps going up. So what some people have to do, they have to take on 2 or 3 jobs, 2 or 3 part-time jobs, just to, be able to afford what they once could under one job. So money is becoming scarce, because few and few people are actually able to collect a whole lot of money. Now, if we were to move to that direction, we'd have to totally change what it means to be a society or community, and to we'd have to go back to what community means. You know. Now, if if we focus on jobs and what the jobs mean to the community and what the community means to those people who live in it, um, then we can just focus on the jobs. You know, like every person gets one job, even if it's part time. They get one job, but they they have access to community food. They can get community transportation, community computers. You know, get a computer, a laptop, um, a tablet like a Kindle that they can carry with them, um, and have access to free internet. You know, this is some of the things, you know, that is made of Star Trek. Star Wars, I don't, you know, they do have money or credits, but they never really go into what it all means, even in the extended universe, because they're all fighting these big battles, you know, and that's the most important thing. It's like, you know, fighting these big battles, you know, and winning, you know, winning freedom for your planet or whatever, you know, or your system, you know, making sure your system is not blown up by someone who invented a sun crusher that destroys suns. Nah, that is actually a weapon in Star Wars in the extended universe. But anyways, going on, we'd have to focus. We'd have to bring the focus to community. We'd have to have community gardens, you know. And but then you have the point is, well, you know, there's not enough space to grow the food for like a whole community, like a whole big city. You know, like I live in Manchester. That's like the biggest city in New Hampshire. It's bigger than the capital. Um, it's actually called the Queen City for a reason, you know, because it's the biggest city. But anyways, so there's not enough land to grow all this food for all the people. So what do? Well, you know, you solve that problem by having indoor gardens. You know, and the indoor garden, it doesn't all have to be on one level. You know, it doesn't all have to be on one level. It can be on, it can be in a high-rise building. You know, 4, 5, 6, 7 level building. That is the whole thing is an indoor garden, and on every single floor they have a different type of crop. You know, we can do this. We do have the technology to have gardens like that. You know, so hey, there's the unlimited food. You know, and for people, you know, well, who's going to maintain it? Well, people from the community who like gardening, scientists who also like to experiment with that. You know, all these, you know, they can be um, helping to grow our food. And so we have that all taken care of, you know, and because they work for the community, you know, they have the, you know, they have the needs of the community. Um, you know, medical, you know, instead of like the hospitals that we do now, you know, we have more like care centers and where, you know, and instead of like doctors living like, you know, hours away in another town or something like that, they can live within the town, um, in like a complex. You know, like the community builds houses, you know, builds a complex for the doctors. You know, and actually within the complex, you know, they have free internet, free broadband internet. They have a laptop. You know, most of them have to have a laptop anyways, and have access um, to that. And so we wouldn't really have to pay them because all their needs would be met. You know, they'd have the apartment, or they'd have a place to live. Them and their family would have a place to live. They would have food. They would have entertainment, just like all the rest of the community. And so that would be that, you know. It's kind of like bartering, but more of a planned, futuristic community, you know. Same thing with schools, you know, teachers, you know. You don't have to pay the teachers, you know, have them all live in a complex. You know, well, I mean, they can either live in a complex or they can live with their family. But, you know, because they work for the community and what they do for the community is important, they wouldn't have to worry about food. They wouldn't have to worry about transportation, about broadband internet, about entertainment. Um, yeah, you know, and since we have cars, you know, we probably wouldn't have any more old cars. They would all be the newer electronic cars like the Chevy Volt, you know, that runs mostly, you know, electrical, even though it has a gas-powered backup. Um, and so the electricity and the gas would be less going for that. And the other thing too that we'd have to develop is something that Nikola Tesla had imagined called wireless electricity. You know, it's a theory that is out there. If you do searches for wireless electricity, Nikola Tesla, you know, you'll come up with some of that information and, you know, the progress, you know, and all that. We could do that. Now, you know, and so then our energy needs would be met. Our food would be met. Our energy needs, education needs, entertainment needs. You know, so you know we would have our jobs in the community, and when we're not jobs in our community, you know, we would continue to work on developing us. You know, so just some ideas out there. Um, Not quite sure how. You know, I mean, I'm working on different things on the article. Um, but I really would like to, you know, see your feedback. You know, what do you think of this new community? Do you think it would work? Do you think we could do that? Do you think in our lifetime we could move towards that and actually see the benefits of that? You know, let me know in the comments down below. You know, it's I think we could. Do you think we could? Comment. Um, and maybe if we start talking about it, putting more of our energy into it, you know, some people will probably be coming up with problems with it, but other people, when they mention the problem, they'd be able to see a solution to it, you know, and we could actually, you know, maybe a little bit optimistic of me, but I think we could in our lifetimes if we put our combined mental powers to the task, you know. And I guess the main question, the first question is like, is it worth it? You know, is it worth it to do this? To actually think about it. So, anyways, um, and also I also wanted to talk. Actually, I'll do another video on that. So that's it for this video, and stay creative in the magic of life. Thank you for watching.